Alright, well, we are back with another video because they did a pretty big announcement. And you can see it right in front of your face right here on this Steam announcement. And I mean, it's pretty small in terms of the actual notes, but the impact of it is going to be much, much, much bigger. They're doing a server merge. You actually can't see it because it's a little bit at the top, but they're doing a server merge. It's right here. I don't actually think my mouse is picking it up, but basically, okay, there it is. Yeah, it's right there. Global server merge. Cool, I guess. Honestly, kind of expected. Not really that weird. Um, Makes a lot of sense that they do it considering the population of the game is so small. Honestly, they probably should have done it a long time ago when the population was already starting to get small. But they're doing it now. Server time will be based off on UTC. Technically, all server maintenances were based off on that anyway, so that's not really that weird. Sorry, let's actually start at the top. So we're planning on merging the three servers currently under Service America, Asia, and Europe on June 22nd, which I think is going to be, if I'm correct, that is the next Tuesday patch. What, Wednesday, Tuesday night, yeah. Which makes sense. In the merge server, we are going to retain the quality of the gameplay while allowing other players to meet and communicate with players from different servers. I guess whatever quality of gameplay means. How about you increase the quality of gameplay? That would be really good. While allowing other players to communicate. So basically, I think just there's going to be more channels now filled up with players because all the people will now be able to access the same Ethica lobbies because Ethica lobby is honestly 90% client-sided anyway, so if you actually went on a different server, Ethica would feel basically the same. Like there wouldn't really be any extra lag in Ethica because a lot of it's client-sided. So um, that makes sense. In the merge servers, players will be able to meet and communicate with others from different servers as long as they have an Ethica, which again is the lobby. PvP and PvE matchmaking will be maintained to be between players of similar pings so that the quality of gameplay will be maintained. So what's interesting about this, though, is that now you can just do customs, I assume, between anyone across any server. Like you can do that now. Which is, I guess, is kind of cool because you can do, again, you can do customs with people. Not that you couldn't do it before, it's just that they needed to use their account on that server, now they don't, um, which I guess is good. Also invalidates some people's ults that they've made on other servers and stuff like that because, I mean, I guess you just now have an extra character or something, I'm not really sure. But the matchmaking is supposed to be maintained between people of similar ping. I don't know what it will prioritize for me in certain cases. So, like, I'm on East Coast. I obviously favor East Coast. Sometimes, if I don't get an East Coast game, I can get a West Coast game. But I don't know if it'll actually prioritize West Coast or Europe because I think my connection to both, I mean, I think my connection to West Coast is a little bit better than my connection to Europe, but they're very close. Like, I get 4 bars or 4 to 5 bars. When I guess on EU I actually get, or sorry, on West Coast I do get 5 bars, or at least I can. Although I think it generally bounces between 4 and 5, and on EU I just get 4. Um, but it does make me wonder because again, sometimes there's not a lot of West Coast queues either. So will it then prioritize EU? I don't know. So there's a possibility that I could get EU games in this update if there's not a lot of people queuing. No idea. But let's see. With the server merge, following changes will take place. Server time would be based off on UTC plus 0. It kind of was as far as I was aware. Or maybe it was UTC plus 5. Not really sure. Well, no, I think we're... Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't think it was UTC plus 5. I think it's just UTC. So that's, I don't think, really any different. All characters will be merged into one server. Characters and empty slots in each server will be all merged into one server. So this is actually pretty cool for new players. So when you initially started the game, as far as I'm aware, you actually only start with one character slot, which is a little stupid. But now, in theory, you should start with 3. So anybody who, well, I don't know if it'll happen for people who will continue or become a new player after this update, but in theory, anyone who's a new player before this update, you should be able to get 3 character slots once the merge happens, because if there's one in Asia, one in Europe, one in America, you're getting all 3 slots, it seems like, because all the empty slots. Because if you don't have a character on a server, that would count as an empty slot, so it would merge into the one server. Character rank and rating will be retained when the server is merged, and then which makes sense. Although I guess that will potentially, I mean, again, we'll get into that later. If two or more characters have the same names, their names will be reset. Players will have to rename their characters before they can log into the game. This one's a little bit fucked. I've already seen a bunch of comments about it in private discords, and I think a little bit unofficial. I don't know what's stopping people from stealing people's names. I don't know how any of that will work. Um, like, I feel like one player can get fucked and not the other. Like, there are people that might have similar names on two different servers. Um, Obviously, if you have, like, if you were able to get your name on every single server, you probably are more fine because nobody else could steal your name on that server anyway. So then when the reset happens, you're probably at advantage. But like if someone else has that name, like a different account has your name but on Europe server, then there's gonna be like someone's gonna have to lose, and that kind of sucks. Um, but I guess that's what it is. Uh, all quest information will be merged as well when the server merging happens. And please note that only completed quests will be merged. Any quest under, yeah, whatever. I don't really care about that. It's just the quests. Guild names. If two or more guilds have the same name, the guild name will be changed to include the server code. So they could, in theory, do that with the names of the players, though. Maybe they don't want to because there's like the name cap or whatever, but technically I think there's a cap to how long a guild name can be. I guess it's rare that if you had a full-length guild name that another server would have that same exact full-length guild name, but if you're going to add the server code right to the end of it, just do that for the player names. Honestly, you could just do that anywhere regardless of player names so that people know what region that player is, um, or like what their ping priority is. So I don't know why they couldn't just do that. But that's just me. All other guild information will be retained. Guilds with their names changed will have a separate in-game button that will allow them to choose a different name. Friend/guild list and guild activity points will be retained. After the server merge, tournament system will be temporarily unavailable. A system revamp is inevitable with the server merge, and tournament system will also undergo a revamp as well. I don't know exactly what they mean by system revamp, although I think I have some ideas. And then the tournament system will also undergo a revamp. Should have done that a long time ago. And we will make announcements in the future when tournament system is ready to be brought back. Cool. So, interesting aspects that come about this that I think are part of the system revamp. Leaderboard. What happens with the leaderboard? Who's going to be on top? Who's going to be not on top? All that stuff. Is it going to be sectioned off like it should have been from the start? At least for NA and probably Asia as well. Is it going to be, we have 3 sections of the leaderboard now where it's like, oh, here's season, I think we're in season 11 or something, season 11, and then you can choose another tab below that where it's like, this is NA, this is Asia, this is Europe. Still, it doesn't actually solve a lot of issues that the servers like Asia and NA/America already have, because America already has 3 different servers, and I believe Asia also has 3 different servers, if not 4. So the leaderboard kind of already doesn't mean much for those servers, and Europe is only 1 server anyway, so that's fine. But in any case, I assume that they're gonna just make it so that the leaderboards transfer, but they're still not overlaid on top of each other. So it's not like Europe's leaderboard is being intertwined with America and Asia's leaderboard. I assume that they're still gonna make them separate. It's just everybody can view them now all at once, and that your stuff will only apply to one. Although that does beg the question of, okay, let's say you did somehow queue into a Europe server ranked match, would it count for the Europe server leaderboard? And the question is, I don't know. And especially if everyone's on the same server, then, in theory, they could still, again, queue into these other servers or even just be part of the leaderboard, natively speaking. Because technically, as soon as you create a character, you are kind of on the leaderboard, quote unquote. You're just off of it so far down that you wouldn't actually ever be able to see it because they only allow it a certain, they only allow it a certain a number of rows and columns and all that stuff. It's 1,000 pages. But so maybe there's a chance that they just combine all of them into one. I think that would be a terrible idea because that would make, again, like America and Asia, which already have leaderboards that mean nothing, just mean even less. Because although I guess Europe would be able to join in the party of not being able to face half the people, honestly, more than half the people on the board, which, again, it just doesn't make any sense. There's no reason for that. Um, but yeah, so I don't know what's gonna come out of it. I guess the market's gonna be also a little bit crazy because market prices between servers are completely different. I'm gonna be honest. Um, I think generally like Asia has some of the highest market prices I've ever seen for certain things, and uh, I think Europe and America is generally a lot lower. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. It does mean more things introduced into the market, so there's going to be more market stuff between people. And um, actually, I think for some people who wanted to transfer their characters over from one server to another, this is basically happening for you. So for those people, this is actually probably pretty good, especially for people who want to, you know, move servers or who have wanted to move servers for a while. I've gotten DMs a while ago from people who have asked about moving stuff over from one character to another. Well, you want to do that anymore because they're all going to be on the same server anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Um, but so I guess that's cool. But otherwise, I have no idea what's going to come out of this. Also, this is Friday. Hopefully, this is the same day I'm uploading it. I think the next Karma will either have a trailer tonight. Probably not, though. I'm going to expect next Tuesday night slash Wednesday because I suspect it'll be released with this update of the global merge. Um, could be wrong, though. We'll see. But yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you all for watching. Again, we'll see what happens with this. See if it helps the game at all. Probably no. Probably won't. Maybe it'll at least sustain it for a little bit longer, but whatever. Anyway, see you in the next video, probably the Karma trailer. And yeah, have a nice weekend. See ya.